What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I am your boy Amit, and today we are looking at 20 plus different ways you can use Nano Banana. You know that Nano Banana has been blowing up the internet with its AI editing capabilities. So let's see what it can do for us today. Let's get started. I will be using this article from Photor on 20 plus different use cases for Nano Banana. So, all right, the first one we're going to do is this 3D action figure. So let's get started with this. I'm going to copy this prompt and I'll drop a link. This is a blog written by Photor, but I'm going to show you step by step how you can create these images. So for the first one, let's add our image here. I'm going to choose the model. So you can go to gemini.google.com and then choose the image editing model. And now what I'm going to do is copy this prompt, paste it here, and let's wait and see what kind of result we get. So in this prompt, what we are trying to do is take an image and then convert it into this 3D model that looks like it's taken an image from your computer and then printed it and put it in a short scale version on your desk. All right, here we go. That's pretty cool. So you can see her image on the computer. And what's crazy is Nano Banana took that one image and recreated it 3 different times, right? Here's the original image on this cover. Then it removed the background and then scaled it and put it on this tiny little glass piece. And then you also see the same image in the background on the computer. So that's pretty wild. Let's continue. Our second one is a chibi knitted doll. So let's copy this prompt. For this one, I'm going to use a different image. So I'm going to use this model's image here. Let me show you what that image looks like. So here's our original image. And now let's give it the prompt, see what we get. And you will notice that for the most part, Gemini does a great job of adhering to that image quality, the style, everything. So this should be pretty good. All right, here we go. So that's our, let me pull this right next to our original image here on the left. And then we have our chibi style image on the right. I'd say that's pretty spot on. Let's move on. The next one is character capsules. Now, I wasn't able to do this by using a celebrity or a sports person, but what we can do is we can try to do this with just a regular image. So I'll put the prompt here, then I'm going to drag an image, put it here, show you what this image looks like. So this is the original image. Now, what I'm going to do here is remove the name piece here. So just say a detailed transparent capsule diorama held between fingers, and I'll remove the rest of the prompt here. Inside, what should be the description, clothing and accessories. So I'm also going to remove that. So background is fine, lighting is fine, and then all of this, everything else should be fine. And let's label it Dunker in a matching font style. Everything else is good. So I tried doing this with LeBron James, with other basketball stars, but it just wouldn't let me do it. So this is where you might hit a barrier as far as trying to recreate it for a personality, because Google does have some controls over what they will allow and not allow you to do. All right, that's actually not too bad. It's not the same as this one on the left, but not too bad also. You can play with those prompts, tweak it, and get it exactly where you need it to be. So if you played enough with the prompt, you should be able to get it close to what we are seeing on the left here from Photor. All right, the next one is character plush toy. So it converts the Spider-Man into a plush toy. Now here again, if you use a named character like Spider-Man, it's probably not going to do it. So I again downloaded this image, and let's open it to show you the original image. So this is just a person dressed as Spider-Man. That's the original image. And I'm saying high quality plush toy. Let's remove the word character from this. And let's leave everything else the same and see if Google delivers on that plush toy. It might even recognize that, hey, this is a Spider-Man, so I'm not going to do it. All right, we're back with the image and looks like it did it. Now, if you notice, let's pull the original one here on the left. And then this is the plush toy. You will notice that it even has the leather jacket and the white shoes. So it took into account all of that and kept it the same, which is pretty insane. Let's move on to our Next one, this is an iPhone selfie. So let's copy the prompt, paste it here. And what it's done is taken this model's image and then turn it into a iPhone selfie. So I'm going to do the same, but for this one, we are going to have a new image in here. Let's look at our original image. So this is what our original image looks like. And I'm saying, please draw an extremely ordinary and unremarkable iPhone selfie, etc., etc. Just read through the entire prompt. All these prompts are on the blog, and the blog I will link in the description of this video. So I think everything else here is good. I'm going to remove this part and just keep it deliberately plain. And let's say the subject's picture. So the other thing I'm going to say is I'm going to rename this to say the subject's picture is taken at night next to, and we can put our location here. So next to the Eiffel Tower. Let's give it a go and see if we get the exact same result as this one here. I have noticed that sometimes when you're doing the selfie photo, it still shows the camera in the person's hand. It shouldn't do that, because this one you can tell looks like a selfie because the cell phone is not visible in the hand. All right, this one didn't really do it. It didn't follow the instructions of the model, so that's strange. Let me give it a follow-up prompt and see if it works. It followed all the other directions pretty well, except for completely changing the person. So I'm going to say redo it and stick with the model in the image. That's the follow-up prompt. So now Google should be able to just replace that person's face with this model and keep all the other settings the same. All right, here's our final output. So it doesn't look, I mean, it looks like it's someone taking a selfie, but it also doesn't look like a selfie image quality. The quality looks too good to be a selfie image quality. But other than that, it did an awesome job of doing what we needed it to do. All right, so our next one is the chibi emoji sticker. Now for this, we should be able to do this fairly easily. We'll add the prompt, and then I'm going to add this image here for the stickers. Let's see the original image. So this is our original image. And then with our prompt, we are saying make a playful peace sign with both hands and winking, etc., etc. So it's a long prompt, but Google should be able to give us a result that's closer to this one in all these different stickers. So you could take your own image, plop it in here, and create your own expression stickers. Here we go. So this is, let's compare this to our original image. All right, the guy looks pretty similar to this original model. You can see the hairstyle is the same. He has the jacket and everything. And then the images are actually pretty close to what we see here from this blog. All right, next one is Funko Pop. This should not be an issue. Hopefully we don't run into any copyright issues. Let's see. All right, so create a detailed 3D render of a chibi Funko Pop figure strictly based on the provided reference image. And this is my reference image here. So the resulting output should be similar to that character turned into a Funko Pop character. All right, so this was our original image, and then here is the Funko Pop image. I would say that's pretty darn close to the original image. This is just impressive technology. Our next one is transform your images into Studio Ghibli style. So for that, let's just take the same prompt or the same person and just make them into a Ghibli style image. So it's going to be the exact same person. We're asking Google to redo the image into a Ghibli style. So it should, the output should look something like this. And here's our output. So you can see it redid that photo Ghibli style. Now what I want to do is start a new chat, because I don't want all these images to start getting muddled into a single chat. And for the next one, what we're going to do is convert this image into a game UI. So you can see on the left, it's a dancer. On the right side, the same dancer showing 3 different times with a user interface on top that looks like it could be part of a video game. So let me upload an image for this now. All right, so here's my original image. And then let's run our prompt and see what that final output looks like. It should look something similar to the image on the left. However, I noticed that this person has 3 arms, the one on the left. All right, this is what our new output looks like. I think that's pretty wild compared to the original image. And I also want to show you something that is super cool. So not only do I have the game UI, the same pose, same watch on the hand and everything, you can see that this is crazy that these numbers, so number 20, x25, x12, are also reflected in the shadows exactly backwards, and that's just mind blowing. Let's move on to our next one, which is create an image fusion. So for this, again, let's go into a new chat and we'll give it the prompt. And on top of the prompt, I want to add this image here. So let's take a look at what this image is. It's got this little boy, another tank top, a dog, sneakers, and balloons. And Google should know that we need to combine all of this into a single cohesive image. So maybe it'll change the tank top of the boy to the one that I've attached, and then put the pet and the balloons and shoes all right next to each other to make a single image. All right, that did not happen. We got the same exact image back, and maybe I need to cut these into 5 different images and put those. So let me pause this video, cut the images and put them back and see if that does anything. All right, I have added them as 5 separate images and then given it the exact same prompt, which says combine multiple images into a single cohesive image, keep all key subjects recognizable and maintain proportions and details, blend them naturally with consistent lighting, shadows, etc. to show a seamless integration. So hopefully this time, here we go. This is much better. It still didn't replace the tank top. So maybe I need to mention, hey, replace the tank top and also the shoes. All right, so my follow-up prompt is replace the tank top and the shoes, not the shoes, to the ones attached. Now Google should iterate on that image, replace the kid's tank top and his sneakers to the ones that are attached originally. All right, our image is ready. 2 out of 1 ain't bad. Looks like the sneakers were replaced because this is our original sneakers here. And then if we look at the image, you can see similar sneakers on his feet, but the tank top has not been replaced. So at this point, I would say this one could be a hit or a miss, but let's move on to our next one. So in this next one, what we're going to do is we're going to do a style fusion where we'll convert our character with a specific style into a animated character while maintaining the style. So I'll take this prompt here, put it in our Nano Banana prompt, and after my prompt I will add 2 separate images. So this is the image of my original character, and then I'm asking Nano Banana to implement this style for my original character. And the prompt says transform this image into an artistic style of image 2, keep the main subject composition and details from image 1 but apply the colors, textures and overall aesthetic of image 2. And let's see if we keep that prompt as is, what happens. I did forget to start this in a new chat, so the output not might not be exactly what we expect, and if that's the case I'll go and redo this in a brand new chat. All right, the image is back. It doesn't look as good as this one here on the left, so let's try this one more time in a new chat, and we'll add the images, the prompt, and let's see what happens. So I have noticed this with Nano Banana, you can continue to re-prompt in that same chat context window for that same image, but as you start adding more images, the context kind of switches. All right, this one I don't think is coming out as good as the one on the left, so again, might be a hit or miss for you as well. Now let's try a different prompt. This time we are doing virtual clothing change. So I'm going to again copy this prompt, put it here, and then what I'm trying to do here is take this model's image and apply this clothing to the model. So first I will try to do this without changing anything in the prompt. If that doesn't work, then I'll redo the prompt to match that model and the other image so that Google understands it better. Alright, as you can see, nothing much changed here, so I'm going to try a different prompt. Alright, here's what I did. I took that prompt to ChatGPT, and in ChatGPT, this was my prompt. Using the prompt style, as mentioned in the virtual change clothes, give me a similar prompt for the model and the hanging clothes to fuse the two. This is what I got back. So now we go back into Gemini and give that exact same prompt. I am not uploading the images again to see if Gemini can go back, see what it did and what I wanted it to do. And if not, then I'll upload both images again. Awesome, here we go. So now you can see that the model's top clothing has been changed. Now let's open this side by side because this is insane. This was our clothing and then this is our model on the left, and you can see that this model is now wearing that piece of clothing, which is just wild. This is amazing. You can shoot yourself once and keep changing your clothing over and over again. Even if you want to try new styles, this is like an amazing way to do it. Now let's go into a new chat. So virtual change clothes worked really good. This one, what we want to do is change the facial expressions of the person. So I'm going to add this image here of this model, and the updated prompt says keep the person from the image unchanged but change their facial expression to crying and maintain everything else. So maintain the pose, body, proportions, hairstyle and overall appearance. So this one on the left, you can see how that image got transformed, and here we have it. This is our new image of the transformation, and then this is our original shocking image. You can see it has kept the shirt the same, the lighting, everything is the same, but now this person is crying instead of the shocked look. Shocking. All right, next one we are doing pose control, where you can take one or multiple subjects and completely change their pose. So I'm going to do this exact same prompt, but my image is going to be this image right here, and we're going to change that image. So right now it says take the two men and place them in exact poses of the man in green carrying the man in red. Preserve their identities. Now what I'm going to do is I can do the same thing with these two models. So my updated prompt is take the two women and place them in the exact poses of the one on the right carrying the one on the left. Preserve their identities, body proportions, and clothing details. Ensure the pose is natural and realistic with consistent lighting, shadows, and perspective. Photorealistic, high resolution result. Let's see what happens. Now, this might be a case where on the left you can see the full body. So Google was able to figure out how to convert that to this pose. But in my case, it doesn't see the full body. So I knew this might not be fully consistent, but you can see that Nano Banana did a pretty good try. So this one, you might need a full body image to do it. Next is a reshaping of the body. So for that, again, let's go into a new chat, put our prompt, and it says reshape the body of the person into a target body type. Keep the face, identity, and hairstyle and clothing consistent. Ensure realistic anatomy, natural proportions, and photorealistic detail. Let's put our image here of a subject, and I just googled this image. Now what I'm going to do is change some of the wordings in the parentheses. So reshape the body of the person in the image into a professional bodybuilder type body. Keep the face, identity, etc. the same. So let's see what happens if we can take this image and convert it into a professional bodybuilder style image while maintaining the facial expressions. This is something I struggle with, especially for pictures of bald men, but looks like, all right, here we go. That looks pretty good. Let me show you the original on the left, and then here we have our new one on the right. Maybe some Maybe some of this might be a little too obvious, like the six pack kind of looks like it's not necessarily part of the body, but everything else looks pretty good. So I think this was a really good one. Next is 3 by 3 grid portrait. So what we can try in this one is I'll upload an image, and here the prompt is using the uploaded photo as a reference, generate a set of 9 vibrant half-length portraits featuring natural life. And you can see this resulting output on the right. Let's see if we get a similar output with our model here. So this is my original image, and let's give it the send and see what happens. All right, and then here is our output. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Now, obviously, I can't zoom in enough to see if the model adherence is there, but that's pretty cool. Next is change the image background. I think this is something fairly simple that you can do even in Canva, but let's just do it here. So this one is an image background changing prompt. I'm not going to do this exact same prompt, but to show you real quick, what I'm going to do is upload this model, and you can see that the image is cloudy in the back. Let's change that to bright and sunny. So my prompt is change the background to be sunny with a few scattered clouds. Everything else should remain the same. Let's see if that happens. All right, here we go. The model is exactly the same, and I can see few scattered clouds and sunny, but now I want to say show blue skies with few scattered clouds. All right, here we go. This is much better. We have scattered clouds and blue skies, and this was our original image. You can see everything else is pretty much the same. So kudos to Nano Banana. Next is add and remove object from an image. So in this case, there is a butterfly that was added in front of this cat. Let's do a similar thing here. So I'm going to start a new chat, paste our prompt in here, and then let's also drag an image in here. So I'm going to say add a hanging spider. So I'm saying add a hanging spider to image 1, place it naturally in the scene, matching the lighting, perspective, and style. Keep the original elements unchanged, photorealistic, seamless integration. All right, here we go. We have our spider in the image. So you can again add and remove objects from an image using just prompts. Our next one is removing someone. So in the previous one, we added someone. Now we're going to remove a person from this image. And for that, I'll add an image similar to this one on the left. I'm going to say remove. So let's remove this person all the way in the back. So my prompt is going to be remove the blurry person from the back. Fill the background naturally to maintain the scene's continuity, lighting, keeping all other elements unchanged. So in our original one in the back here, you can see this person that's blurry. We want to remove that from this image. Again, you're doing image editing with just prompts. And how cool is that? Here we go. Everything else is the same, the trees, everything. That person has completely disappeared from the image. This is bananas. Next is change camera angles. So we're going to do 4 different angles. Again, let's start a new chat. All right, our next one is changing camera angles. Let's first try it in this exact image, and then if it doesn't work, we'll start a new image. So recreate this, recreate the image in 4 different camera perspectives. Keep the subject's identity, body proportions, everything else the same. Maintain the same background environments with photorealistic lighting, natural shadows, and high quality details. Generate 4 variations side by side. You have bird's eye view, rear view, side profile view, and close-up portrait view. This should all be combined into a single image similar to something right here. And again, you can take these images, take them to your favorite video editor to further convert these into real life videos. All right, here we go. This was our original image here, and you can see keeping the character consistency. We have a top view, back view, and even the float is in there, and then close up portrait view. And then I think the side view was the 4th view. Pretty wild. Let's go to our next one, edit text in image. So for this, let's start a brand new chat. And for this, what I have is this Vogue magazine image. And here I'm going to say, edit the text in image 1, replace the existing text Vogue. So my updated prompt is edit the text in the image, replace the existing text Vogue with woman while keeping everything else the same. So this Vogue image should now be replaced and the words Vogue should be replaced with the word woman but keeping everything else the same. I have no clue how this piece of technology works on the back end, but I'm so glad that it exists. All right, let's see if that worked. All right, I think that was a semi success. And I say semi success because it's done a great job of keeping everything else the same, but there is a typo in the word woman for on my first try. I'm sure if I give it a few more iterations, it's going to be better, but that's amazing for first try. Let's go to our next prompt, which is time-based image generation. So for that, what we're going to do is create a new chat, give it our prompt, and then let's add a image that will look great at night. So generate an image of same scene but showing how it looks 10 minutes later. Keep the environments and style consistent. So instead of 10 minutes later, we're going to say 10 hours later, but add natural changes such as light, weather, people, and so on. Photorealistic, seamless continuity. So seamless continuity being that same people in almost same setting, but what happens 10 hours later, it should ideally show me a nighttime image. All right, here we have it. Now, this isn't as close to as what we see here. So what I'm going to do is give it a follow-up prompt, and my updated prompt is redo it, show nighttime image with lots of stars in the night sky. Now those two skiers disappeared from our original photo into this new one that it had created. So hopefully it'll bring it back. Nope, the skiers are not back. So now I'm going to give it one final prompt and say add those skiers back. All right, so we have our mountains, we have the snow, we have the stars and the nighttime imagery. Now, hopefully the skiers can come back, and here we have it. And this is what the original image looks like. So let's open it side by side. Here's our original image, and then here's our updated image, and you can see it's the exact same skiers because you can even see the same shadows like the original image. All right, next one is object extraction, and this is super powerful if you see an object and you're like, okay, this can be a great image for my e-commerce store. So for this, what we're doing is we are uploading this model's image and we are asking Gemini to extract all of the things from that model and just display it as an image without the person in it to give it a similar effect as this one right here. And here we go. This was our original image on the left, and then here it is updated for your e-commerce store. All right, in this next one, we are going to do some image enhancement. And again, this is the future of image editing, right? It's going to be us prompting what we want these images to look like. So this is our original image. Let's open that. And then let's also give it the prompt to see if it can enhance that image. It's already pretty enhanced, the one on the left, but I'm curious to see what Nano Banana will do to further enhance this image. All right, here we go. Now this is a tough one because I can't really tell what it has done to make this image even better. But hey, that's a prompt worth trying to get enhanced images. Next one is changing the weather. So again, just like we did time of day changes, this time we're going to change the weather. So for that, I have this image here, and now I'm saying change the weather in the image to, let's go with snowy. I'm going to say keep the main subject and overall scene intact, make it photorealistic, seamless integration. So these are some of the keywords that you can keep mentioning over and over again. All right, here we go. This was our original image on the left, and then here's our snowy image on the right, and it is pretty on the money. Let's go to the next one, which is change the image color. So let's start a new chat. We're going to add a brand new image in here. Here's what our original image looks like. I'm going to say change the colors in the image to cool blue tones and remove the rest. And then the rest of the prompt is pretty similar to what we did earlier. So hopefully you get the idea that you can take the same image, keep reiterating on it, keep giving it different prompts. Whatever is the wildest thing that comes to your mind, keep doing it. So this one, we just added the cool blue tones. Now let's see if this works. I'm going to say add a Mustang logo on the cowgirl hat. So it should know what the Mustang logo looks like, and then add it on top of the hat, but also make it realistic. All right, here we go, on the money. So let's move on to our next one, which is image replace. And in this case, we are going to replace the motorcycle with a bicycle. Let's add our prompt. Let's add the image, and then I'm going to say replace the motorcycle with, so my updated prompt is replace the motorcycle with a bicycle and then keep everything else the same. And here's our result. This was the original image. You can see the person's stance is the same, everything is the same, but the motorcycle has been replaced with a bicycle. And then next one, we're going to do outpainting. Outpainting is essentially extending the image and letting AI figure out what that extended image should look like. So I'll add that prompt here. And then this is my original image that we're going to use for outpainting. And the prompt says, extend the image beyond its original borders using outpainting. And then everything else it says, keep the character the same, keep the shot the same, the colors, the lighting, the nature, everything, keep it all the same. So it should just extend the image beyond the horizon to show you more. And let's see what it looks like compared to our original. All right, you can see that on the left side, you can see further away than our original one here, which is just around the horizon right here. I don't think it did too much of an outpaint, but you could again keep reprompting to see how much outpainting it'll give you. All right, and then finally, we're going to use line to image to convert a lined image into a photorealistic image. So thank you for sticking around. If you have made it this far, don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you get notified when I release my next video. Here's our line to image, and then the prompt here is convert the line art in image 1 into a fully colored and detailed image. Let's do apply photorealistic style with realistic lighting, shadows, and textures. So this was our original image. Now let's see what it looks like once Google executes our prompt. All right, that is actually pretty awesome. And there you have it. That is how Nano Banana is. I would love to know, how are you using it? What prompts are you trying? What next prompt you want me to try? So drop all of that in the comments below. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button so you get notified next time I release a video. And until next time, keep prompting.